I am a strong believer that you are an accurate representation of the five or so closest people around you, or your tightest friend group or circle, or whoever you hang around with. So, I wanted to make a video of the seven types of people that you must cut off in order to even remotely start getting successful or get on any type of path of success. So, I made a little quick list here on this paper. Don't mind my handwriting. It's shit, I know. But that's besides the point. So, you saw the title. Let's begin. I am not wasting any time. Number 1, we have smokers or druggies. This one's pretty self-explanatory. I don't even need to explain any of them, but we'll just go through the notes I have here. Number 1, yeah, so we have the smokers and druggies, right? These are the people that, can't enjoy anything without getting high or drunk or getting their buzz out of whatever substance they're using firsthand or, beforehand or whatever. You go to any event and they're like, "Are you listen, I'm gonna just give me 5 minutes. I'm gonna go smoke this joint or whatever." Or I'm gonna go. It doesn't matter. These are the people that, you go to the event and they're just there by themselves, kind of just in their own zone, not really with anybody, just doing their like drugs or whatever, smoking a cigarette outside. It doesn't matter what they're doing. These are the people. Like another one, it's like, they're always pressuring people to just, take a hit. Yo, just try it once, bro. Trust me, bro. Just take a hit. I'm telling you, never, ever, 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 never fall for that shit, bro. I don't care. It could be my closest friend. It could be my family member, and I would still turn it down. I have had countless friends who have told me, "Yo, well, before I was, friends with them, they would always be like, yo, just take a hit, man. I'm telling you, this shit is it's unreal, bro. The buzz, yo, just take a drag of this vape." I always turned it down. Never ever fall. It doesn't matter who it is, bro. It could be your closest friend. If all of a sudden they start smoking or doing whatever type of drugs, you have to cut them off. I'm telling you. If you want any chance at success in life, you have to avoid these types of people. You know, another thing is like, they have bad sleep schedules, they have low energy, and they, overall just inconsistent behavior because these substances are fucking with their brains and their mental, their entire psyche. It's these substances are determining how they feel for them. These are the type of people that don't produce their own emotions. They are relying on other substances to make them motivated or happy or whatever. And it all starts with one drag. It all starts from another friend of theirs that say, "Yo, just try this. Just take a hit. I'm telling you, just one time." And then from there on, they start selling you that bullshit. They get it from their plug or whatever, and they want to start selling to you. And then it becomes not a friendship. It becomes they become a sorcery. They become, they're trying to make a profit off of you. And it's overall just a taxing type of friend that is, just you don't have to cling on to. You don't have to be with these types of friends. They don't do anything. And another thing is in this number 1 is that, these are the types of friends that have no money. They have money that comes in from selling whatever it is, and then it's gone just like that because they spent it all on the wrong shit. It's all monetary money. It never moves anywhere. It never levels up. This money never goes to somewhere that is, could benefit you or that friend. And their priorities become substances over goals. So yeah. Net Number 2, we have negative Nancy's. That's what I wrote. So the negative Nancy's are the people that just complain. They're just, you bring them anywhere. It could be school, it could be a road trip, it could be grocery shopping. It doesn't matter what the motive is, and they're always just looking for something to complain about. And they know it too. They know it. They know that they're complaining and other people don't like it, but they decide to they think this like complaining pathway of theirs is gonna lead to some type of like feeling that is deeper in the friend group. I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it. See what I wrote in my notes here. So they shoot down ideas immediately. These are the types of people that complain. If you ever had these types of friends in like a group project at school, and you like provide an idea or whatever, they're immediately just shooting it down because they're just looking, they're nitpicking. They're not even gonna add anything to an idea that you present. They're not gonna add anything to what you say. They're just gonna pick on what you have presented and then give nothing after that. They complain more than they act. They always expect worst case scenarios. Um, that's not that bad, but it depends on, it's again, that's a very situational thing. It's not something you should be doing every time. You should be prepared for the worst case scenario, but you shouldn't be presenting it to everyone like you're so certain it's gonna happen. Um, they're always turning good news into problems, or this almost goes into jealousy even a little bit. um and just constant sarcasm and pessimism, just like stuff like that. Again, these are types of friends that are just, they're always looking for something wrong. They're never looking on the bright side. They're never adding anything. They're just subtracting energy from you. And I hate, these are probably one of my worst ones, because these are the friends that you can't take anywhere. If you want to do something fun, they're just, it's these are the friends you can't have on the list. They can't even be mentioned. If you're planning a group outing or whatever, like a motive or anything, bro, these are people that you just can't even mention. All right, next we got the excuse maker. This one is equally as bad, I would say. The excuse maker is the one that, it's again self-explanatory. They're always making excuses for anything. It could be anything. It could be their financial burdens. It could be their financial issues. It could be hanging out and they're never there. It could be showing up. It doesn't matter. They could be late to something. The list goes on and on. The situation, it doesn't depend. It's not a situational thing here. They're making an excuse regardless of what it is. So let's say we have always has a reason but never results. That it's nothing shows up from them. They're blaming everything but themselves. Like if they get shit grades on a test, they're gonna be doing they're gonna be blaming the teachers. If they have no money and they're broke, they're gonna be blaming the economy instead of actually getting a job, instead of actually working, trying to find something, trying to do something. They're blaming their parents, luck, timing, just blaming anything but themselves. No accountability. They're just making excuses. You have to cut this type of friends off. You have to cut these types of friends off. Because it's like a leech. These types of friends, their energy is like a leech, because once you realize that, okay, you know what? If you even believe them one time for one of their excuses, you subconsciously start thinking like them. You're gonna start becoming more like them. Again, like what I said at the beginning of the video, you are an accurate representation of the five or so closest people around you. And if one of them is like this, you're gonna start picking up on their traits, and you're gonna start making excuses for your own bullshit instead of taking any accountability. They're always saying they're gonna start something tomorrow, or they're gonna start something. Oh, I promise you, next week, yo, this is gonna be done. This is gonna be done. But it's always to no prevail. They avoid accountability, and they talk big, but just no action. All right, next up we got the one upper. This one's probably the easiest to cut off, I think. The one upper, because um the one upper is probably the easiest to cut off, because they're already envisioning themselves higher than you, so it shouldn't really matter that if you cut them off or not. But I've had friends like that, and it has not gone too well with them. So let's see in the notes. The one upper, so they make every conversation about themselves. The one upper is the person, the friend that is always just trying to take the center stage for no reason, trying to amplify every accolade and achievement that they have. And they're always trying to downplay any like mistakes or failures that they've made in their lives. They're always trying to downplay them so that they could really take the shine where it comes to in regards of their own accolades and their own achievements. And these are the types of friends that, if you even bring them any positive news, they're gonna be like, oh yo, I already did that, bro. That's super light. That's easy, man. Don't worry, bro. I've already did that. If you ever need help with it, just let me know. And that, okay, that last part is cool, yeah, but it's, again, very situational. It's like, these are the people that are always trying to say that they're one step ahead of you, and it's just like a minor, like, they had done it in the past, but they're not skilled at it in any, like, let's say, I'm not even gonna give a fucking, like, anyways, um they're always competing with you in weird situations over anything, just anything. It could even be anything like bad, and you would catch them in the act of trying to one up you over something that is negative. Like if it's like a eating competition or something, and they'll be like, "Yo, trust me, I eat more than you, bro. Don't worry." Um, they're always interrupting your wins with bigger stories. Um, and they rarely give any genuine compliments. They rarely are. Again, it's like another thing. Um they're not adding anything. They're just there to kind of let you know that they've done it before. Or yo, that it was so easy, man. Like, yo, come on. I already yo, we are who get up with the times, catch with the times. Or like catch up or whatever, and these are these are a must. But luckily for this one, if you have a one upper friend, these are easy to get rid of. Okay, next we have the friend who constantly reminds you of your old mistakes. Um, this one's kind of like a cheap one. I kind of just toss it in there. The friend that constantly reminds you of like your old mistakes and shit. They're always bringing up like any small issue in school, any embarrassing thing. They always love to bring it up around other people when they know it's none of their business. I've had a lot of these types of friends, and that shit cheesed me a lot. But at the end of the day, I didn't really care because it's like, if no one has to believe my part of the story if I disagree with this friend or whatever. But yeah, they're always like, they're always sarcastically saying that you've changed in front of other people, just so that they have like a way to bring up like old things that don't regard anybody else in that friend group or whatever like situation that you're in. They're always, they're making fun of your improvements. If you do something new for yourself, they're, just they it kind of goes hand in hand with the one upper. They think that they're more skilled in that area, and that they know that, oh, it's not going to work out for you, bro. You're wasting your time. Why are you even doing this? Why are you going to the gym? Why are you going to the studio? Why are you drawing? Why are you making this art? Why are you learning music? Whatever it is. I've had, I have had friends like that when I showed them that, I produce music. And they're like, yo, you're never gonna get rich off of that. There, I can't stand those types of people. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it for that one. Number 6, the chronically online friends. Like these ones, oh my god, they're the cringest. These ones are another one that are really easy to just cut off. I've had a lot of these types of friends. I think the most of the friends that I've had to cut off were chronic onlines. Why is my nose so itchy? Yeah, so number 6, they're brain rotted. They're just their attention spans are cooked. They're fried. They're gone in their head. They're chronically online, and they're constantly sorry, they're constantly like seeking attention or whatever it is, posting some bullshit on their story, posting some new notes on their, or music on their notes. I don't give a fuck. No one cares, bro, about your story. No one cares about your morning walk. No one cares about you driving for the first time. I don't give a fuck. These are the types of friends that are just there online, but when you're in real life, it feels like, this connection that you have, like, over in the group chats and stuff. They barely talk to you. It's barely held down. You know, oh man, it is so cheesy. It's so corny. It's so These types of friends are just so, like, hard to just even, like, it's hard to speak to them, because it feels like you have to live up to their, like, expectations in their, like, online life, when you're like, you have to, like, send jokes and shit, like how you do in group chats or whatever when you're messaging them. I cut these types of people. They, um they're living in trends. They're living through, like, the like, I hate to even bring this shit up, but it's like these, like, corny memes. They just live through these shit, and in their real life, they're, like, always saying, "Oh, 6'7", 6'7", oh, scuba, scuba," or, like, the speed memes. They're always trying to make that stupid, like, face whenever you're in, like, a conversation or whatever the trending meme, or whatever, like, the ongoing trend in the online world is. They're just they're the first. They're the first. They're the first people there, and then they're probably the last person out, because they don't realize that things have to move on. So they're just sitting there repeating these old shitty jokes that they think are still in trends, and it's just so corny. It's so corny seeing them, like, say that type of stuff in real life. Oh my god, man. Like, you can't take these types of people anywhere, because they're always, just posting, "Oh, yo, check it out, man. Look at me. I'm on my Snapchat story." And they're always taking these snaps and shit. I can't deal with those types of people, bro. If you're chronically online, no, bro. They're also more informed about internet drama than real life issues. Like, if they have to make money. These are the they're so focused on online bullshit that they're not even they refuse to come to, understand that their life is horrible. They have no money, they have no aspirations, and they're looking at streamers on TikTok. That just says enough. They're doom scrolling 24/7, and they need constant stimulation. Pretty self-explanatory. All right, number 7, the last one. We have the gossip machine. The gossip machine is the friend that just can't keep their fucking mouth shut. This was the most recent one that I had to cut off. This is the most recent one. I made a um grieve mistake one time when I was younger about um I don't I'm not even gonna tell you what it was, but it was a bad mistake that happened when I was a little bit younger, maybe in middle school or something. And this friend I was friends with for a long time, but he just constantly brought it up over and over and over to random people that, whenever we speak about it. Even I even got him a job. I even got him a job, and he wanted to talk about it to um the owner, or, like, it was like a family business, and he loved to just run his mouth about this type of shit. And it was when I was very young. I wasn't it was a dumb mistake. I wish he had not said it to other people, because it would influence their perception about how I could go about a certain business route, if that makes sense. Um, these are the type of people that always have some type of, tea on somebody. Why am I getting fucking spammed right now? Sorry. They're always these are the type of friends that you can't tell shit to. These are the type of friends that, it's just best to, like, give them, like, small details about, a funny situation or a joke or whatever, and then just leave it there. Because if you tell them the whole story, they're either gonna add more to they're gonna implement their imagination and tell other people what they thought happened, and, just run their mouth from there. They're always up in people's business of conflicts and drama and shit. Um, and they just overall make you paranoid. You know that these are the friends that are just you don't want to tell them anything because you never know what they're gonna go and tell to the next person, even if it's good information. Because when if they're gossip machines, they're probably something along the lines of they're probably chronically online as well. So I think six and maybe even five. The the one that is always reminding you of your old mistakes and shit. So it's kind of similar, but they go hand in hand. Anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it, bro. I might make a second video about this of more friends, that you need to cut off. But I hope this helped you, think about the types of people that you need to cut off. It's very important that you surround yourself with people that you want to hang around with. It's very important that you want to, you assess your friend group, the people that you're with. That it has that's the number one thing. Assess your friends before you even like begin sharing information with them. If there are any of these seven things here, you can't. It's just these types of people are just they're taxing your energy in all types of ways, and in these small small like movements that almost go unnoticed, but it's just it's definitely happening. Anyways, I appreciate you watching, and I will probably make a second video. Peace.